Hey, Chef Andre here. Today we're going to do some mustard caper roast chicken. Make sure you stay to the end of the video. We've got the ingredients and a couple of tricks for you. So we're starting off with a preheated pan, about medium heat. Got to drizzle some olive oil in there to keep the onions from sticking. And we've got about one medium-sized white onion. It'll yield about 3/4 of a cup of onion chopped. We're going to sweat that in the pan. Don't want to overcook it or let it get too brown before we brown the chicken in the pan. We're starting off with about 5 pounds of chicken leg quarters. Inspect those legs well. Cut off what you don't like, excess fat, excess skin. We're going to season it really well. We've got salt and pepper and about a tablespoon dried thyme. This is going to season about all of it. Again, if you like more salt and pepper, season it more. And if you're using fresh thyme, make sure you get about 2 tablespoons worth and remove it from those woody stalks. Keep those onions moving while you're seasoning the chicken, and be wary of cross-contamination. We don't want to get any salmonella on things. Now we're going to brown the chicken real well, get a real golden brown. This is going to get a great flavor, crispy skin, and this is going to make a huge difference in the sauce. Be patient with browning that chicken. Don't rush it. Make sure you keep it moving. And if you check it, want to flip it over. Give it some time. Make sure it's nice and brown. We're doing about half the chicken at a time so it doesn't just steam up. And remember, when you're pulling that just brown chicken out, it's still raw chicken. You got to deal with it the same way. Spread that chicken out in the pan. Make sure you're not stacking the chicken. We're adding a little bit of bone broth, about 1 to 2 tablespoons, just to deglaze the pan. And this is going to keep the fond from burning. Fond is that delicious stuff that is stuck to the pan that was from the chicken when you were browning it. Now we're going to coat the chicken with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. We want a nice thin coating. You want to really work it in there. Don't have a lot of clumps in there. That'll prevent it from getting crispy skin. You just want a nice, even, thin coating on there. Work it in there. Add some more salt and pepper if you like. And then we're going to add about 5 ounces of caper berries. Drain them. And I like these big ones. It gives it a nice look, great flavor. You can also use the small caper berries as well, the small capers. And if you have a little bit, about a teaspoon of that juice that it came in there, make sure you toss it in there. It gives it a nice flavor. We've got that oven preheated at 425. You're going to put that in there for about 35 minutes. You want to check it after about 20. Make sure you're using a thermometer, and after about 35 minutes, I like it at 175 degrees internal temperature. Remember to check that in the meat, not next to the bone. And always check in at least 2 spots. If you got to put it back in the oven, make sure you do quickly. Now we're going to take that chicken out of the pan. We're going to make some gravy. This is how you slice that chicken bone, right between that leg and the thigh. It'll be easy. Make sure your knife is sharp, and if it's a hard pain in the butt to do it, you're probably doing it in the wrong spot, or your chicken's not done all the way. Going to bring that gravy up to a boil. Add a couple of tablespoons to about 1/4 of a cup of bone broth in there, and get that back to a boil again. We're going to be adding about 2 tablespoons of tapioca starch, and tapioca starch is about a 1-to-1 ratio to flour as far as its thickening powers go in gravy. So when you bring that back up to a boil, you're going to be making sure it keeps moving. You're going to add that tapioca starch and make sure that keeps moving. You don't want any of the lumps to sit there and burn. Keep stirring it. And then in a minute, we're going to do a nice little trick here. Now this is the magic of this sauce. About 2 to 3 more tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Make sure it's cold. And when you put it in there, swirl it around, it's going to give it this incredible creamy texture that just is going to wow your guests, your family. This is an incredible low-calorie dish that has just a fantastic appeal. It smells great, it tastes great, and it looks like you used a bunch of butter and cream in here, but you didn't. Thanks again for watching. Let's make skinny tasty. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks again.